Hey everybody, how's it going today? It's Carpo here and another video from my living room because it's about the last 10 minutes I'll have of the day where it's quiet and I have to go pick up my kids from school. So I thought I'd make a quick video and just talk about some thoughts I've had over the past couple days. You know, I haven't made a video in a couple days. I've had a lot on my plate. It was yesterday morning that I woke up and I had it was my oldest son's birthday, and unfortunately I'd scheduled my dentist appointment for the same day. And I have been going to the dentist for the last couple of months, as I mentioned in a previous video, to try to take care of some stuff that I've been putting off for a long time. And it's bankrupting me, and I really hate spending money, the thousands of dollars that it does cost to fix your teeth, but I have probably got 9 crowns in the last couple months. First I had a bridge, and I mentioned that over here, 3 teeth. Well, I just got these 4 done, and these are all new. Not new, well, they're crowns. And then I went in the other day and I had these 2 done, and in the back, and one of them had been hurting. So he tried to grind the nerve down a little bit, or whatever they do to try to fix it without doing a root canal, because I did not, you know, I don't want a root canal if I don't have to. And it hurt all day yesterday, and I was laying here just like suffering in pain. Not horrible pain, I've been in much worse, but every time I have a painful moment, day, whatever it might be, it really puts things into perspective for me. But I get a little bit defeated sometimes when I can't do anything, you know, when I feel physically unable to do something because of pain. And while I'm saying this right now, as I'm speaking, actually my back started hurting about 10 minutes ago. I've had sciatic pain for the last 7-8 years on and off, but it was really bad for about 3 or 4 years. And to the point where I had to quit my career as a carpenter. I mean, my whole life was kind of thrown upside down. I was hoping I could, you know, every once in a while I think I can get back into carpentry, but no, I have to, because I can feel the pain just from moving this new receiver that I bought, this stereo, like 50-pound stereo a couple times. It's like, it reminds me that, nope, you can't lift anymore. Whoops, on to the next thing. So anyhow, it gives me gratitude for being alive, and maybe I think it's the painful episodes in my life that, you know, lead me to, I think, 2 different ways. I could go 2 different ways if somebody else is having a problem in their life. And sometimes I have strong sympathy or empathy. Other times you just want somebody to smack them upside the head and be like, get over it. This is such a nothingness. You know, you become a victim and we start whining about things that are just really nothing. I don't know. And maybe I become a little bit cynical about it, you know. Even about, for example, addictions. Like somebody mentioned something about a cannabis addiction, and I left a comment like, well, when I quit smoking pot, the worst withdrawal I had was feeling bored, you know. And in my mindset, I was like, I feel like people should be empowered to think quitting pot, that's nothing. You're not going to have any with physical symptoms. But people say, well, you'll have mental symptoms. It's like, yeah, but get over it. Move on, you know. That's the thing. We have to be strong as individuals, but at the same time, we have to be able to get support and help from our friends and family when we need it. You know, it's a fine line to walk. But only if we've suffered issues in our own life, our own addictions, our own pain, our own losses, can we say, hey, man up, you know, to other people. You know, oh, is man up not PC anymore? Sorry, human up. A lot of the things that we have in our lives we take for granted. And every time I catch myself complaining about my physical pain, or say having to lay there with the tooth pain the other day, thinking, I got no problem with this. I was able to fix the teeth that would have been much worse in the long run. And with modern dentistry, it's, you know, it's come a long way from the days of pulling your teeth out with pliers. So I'm grateful for all the things we do have, and I feel like sometimes as a society, I feel like especially a Western society, we're starting to take things for granted to the point where, for example, I was thinking on the way home today, I was like, people complain or say things like, you know, cancer rates are on the rise, more people are getting cancer. And you think, well, the funny thing is, oh, almost time to go. Got to pick up the kids. I started thinking, well, a lot of older people can get cancer, right? It tends to be more common as you age. Well, that's the interesting thing is we once had a lifespan of 40 years. I mean, we live so long that we're surprised if we don't make it to 100. In the same way, for example, food, where we say, you know, they're just feeding us junk and garbage, and we don't eat enough good food, which is true because we eat too much refined sugar and fats and whatnot, the wrong kinds of fats. But then every year they find out, oh, well, this isn't as bad for you as we thought, and really we go on what our bodies feel. But my point being that I read something that said that we eat better than like King Louis the 15th or whatever, like that their best diet couldn't compete with the amount of calories that we can get our hands on, and it's just how it is. We eat like kings did of the past, for example. I should say they could eat fine too, but I know that the food's processed, and that's a completely different story. But I'm trying to get to the root, the main point, which is that we have to be tough as individuals and as a society. I mean, we have to be strong. It's hard. Life is difficult, and there's times when I feel just monotonous and melancholy, I guess is the word for it, where I just feel like I don't want to do anything. I don't feel motivated to get anything done. Maybe I'll pace around and think, oh, I could do this, and I have all these things I should be doing. And lately this has actually been an issue. Like I make a video talking about something where, well, I should be doing something, but it's not as easy it's easier said than done to just jump up and just do all the things that you need to do, especially when you become overwhelmed. And I have a lot of issues in my life, you know, right now that thank goodness that at least the most important things are taken care of, which is what gives me, you know, consolation and comfort, which is that I'm grateful to have family that I love and loves me, and friends that I can spend time with, even if only a few. And I'm also grateful to have food and shelter and all these things. Every year I have this like the gratitude day where I just think about it constantly, like I should be totally grateful for what I have. But I'm also realizing that in the Western world, our Western way of life, if you will, of what we always dreamed of, you know, being able to work and then take time off and go on vacations and have a lot of time in the evening to chill and think, and you don't have to, you know, even we work long days, especially if we have families. It doesn't matter if we work 8-hour shifts at work, we still come home and we're working all the time, but it's still nothing compared to you know, some of the headaches we had to deal with in the past. We have a lot more free time. At least that's what we're working towards. But then you find that once you have it, it makes you almost delirious with, you know, confusion about what to do and which things should I be doing. And in other words, our ancestors didn't have time to question whether they were on the right path or on their life path, because their life path was walking down the path to harvest their food so they could stay alive. So that's not better or worse, and it's not a comparison to say, oh, we should go back to that, nor to say that, you know, they wouldn't have been just like we are if they had everything we had. Our ancestors dreamed of having all the things we have, and now it just, I don't know, it causes a lot more depression, you know, a lot more confusion and anxiety. So we all deal with that together, and that's why we share things, you know, to try to empower each other. But without going, oh, it's okay, you know, I'm trying to hold each other's hands, and I just metaphorically slap each other and say, look, what you're complaining about is nothing, you know. It's a difficult thing to talk about, because for some people, small problems are huge things, and somebody would say, well, how dare you say that this isn't a big problem to someone else? It may seem like a big problem, but I guess what I'm getting at is that the more we kind of look at these things as little things, road bumps, then the more the kids coming up today, the next generation, will see that and say, oh, everybody else treats it like it's no big deal. Well, I might as well treat it like it's no big deal too. But we're becoming overly sensitive about the silliest things because we can't handle ourselves, and because we're too touchy. We want our little safe spaces, and they just don't exist, you know. The world's tougher than that. Can we create a place where we all feel safe and treat each other with respect? Of course we can. That's the goal. That's the idea. But I don't know. At this point, you know, I better just go because I have to pick up the kids in about 5 minutes. So, thanks for listening. Yep. I'll talk to y'all soon.